Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 148. Happy Thanksgiving to you all out there. I hope you're spending this time with your families. I came back and I'm spending time with my family as well. And there's something special about always coming back to where you're from, coming back to your family. You know, this den has so much memory for me. I used to spend so much time here as a little kid. My parents, for whatever reason, that coal stove, that wood stove right there, me and that stove, we've probably been through a lot. You know, growing up, there used to be a pool table right in this general vicinity right here, and we used to play pool here, and every single snow day and whatever else. If I need to lose weight for wrestling, that's neither here or there. That's besides the point. But you know, like the memories coming home, it's just, I think that's what the holidays are about. So I hope you guys are enjoying your Thanksgiving and just having a great time. Either way, case at point. Today, what we're talking about is how do we focalize mobilization onto the tensor fasciolata. We call the tensor fasciolata all the time by TFL. It's a lot easier to understand. So, to begin with, what is it? What does it look like? What does it do? That way we know how to mobilize it. So, here we go. We have the TFL. The TFL, or tensor fasciolata, is a muscle that kind of starts right in that like little bone that pops out in the front, and it comes up to your iliac. It comes up and follows your iliac crest. It's a pear-shaped tissue that looks like right here, right? That pear-shaped tissue culminesces into a fibrous band called your iliotibial band, which kind of comes all the way down your thigh and attaches onto the outside portion of your leg, knee. So, what does it do? Well, it flexes the hip. It's an accessory hip flexor, meaning it aids flexion, okay? And it externally rotates the foot, right? So, brings the foot out, or the leg, right? So, it does this motion. So, you can imagine, if I'm seated in a seated position for long periods of time, I have, just pretend that like both of those legs are up. I have kind of like my legs sitting here, especially in the sporty coupe seats of a car or something like that, right? I'm always kind of seated with my hip flexed, and it kind of like externally rotated out, right? That position, that prolonged position, is just allowing that tensor fasciolata, that TFL, to become adaptively shortened over long periods of time. We sit at this like our desk all the time as well too. That's why it seems to continually be one of those ones that just get irritated. So we've showed in the past how to muscle mash that sucker, right? We get on the outside, we spend a lot of time between here and there beating up those gremlins. So, how do we focalize mobilization on that? And here's how we do it. Got ourselves a band, because I don't go anywhere without my bands, right? And we've seen this position before, where we step through our band, get that band as high up into the crotch as we can, and we add some tension to it, and we put our body directly in line with the vector, that sagittal vector, right? And we're just going to allow it to pull, the band to kind of like pull ourselves into hip extension. Notice when I'm doing straight hip extension, I'm working on just my hip flexors, what I get is a linear pull, right? And that's good, I love that, but it doesn't take out all the slack into the tensor fasciolata. So how we do this now is, instead of our knee being directly straight, where it is like it is right now, we're going to move it over about 45 degrees. So if my body was straight, I would be faced 45 degrees away from this vector that's pulling. However, that's not what's going to happen, because I want to wrap up that tissue, tighten up that tensor fasciolata. So what I do here is I keep my knee right where it is, and if you see, I got Pops' safe back here. That's blocking me. You guys can use a kettlebell. You can use anything you want that would block that, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep our heel against an object, and we're going to twist our body so that knee is out and this tissue winds up. So I'm going to wind up that hip, and then I'm going to allow it to come into extension, right? So right here, that tissue is flaccid. It's not wound up. Right here, I really twist my hip. The leg stays where it is, and now I let the band pull me into extension, right? So we can facilitate this by doing contract relax. How do we do that? We push our hip back just a little bit, just enough to contract the tissue, right? Hold that for 3 to 5 seconds. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Relax. Hold this position in the relaxed position for 8 to 10 seconds. Continue that repetition. Try to get about 15 reps per side, guys. So take-home points are this. Knee is now held out as far as we can, so the hip is stuck into or turned into internal rotation, which winds up that fascia, really winds up that tensor fascia lata, and then the hip is drug into extension. Those are the 2 points I want you guys to take home, and that is how we are optimizing function to optimize performance on our Thanksgiving day. Guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving again. Love you all. Thanks for all the support, and be grateful for everything else, guys. See you tomorrow.